Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC show.
Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon, and this is the EAC show, coming to you from sunny South Florida. I'm joined on the sound by Marcus Mack and Wayne Caton, Anthony Nieves, and Jordan Crate on the video. Emilio Jr. is in the building. And then obviously I got sitting next to me, UCF activist, overall sports enthusiast, the big one, Cameron Denton. Cameron, what's going on, man?
I'm good. How we doing?
Cameron, the weekend of sports was great.
It was a good one.
It was great.
Yep.
Oh, man, there was so much to talk about. So much happened this weekend, and then so much happened today. Why don't you give them the list of stuff that we're going to tackle on today's show?
We're going to touch on, obviously, the fight on Saturday night between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, the rematch.
Wilder versus Fury, the rematch, lived up to all the expectations.
Absolutely, I agree. We'll talk about the XFL Week 3 recap. We'll touch on the Week 4 matchups a little bit, the spreads, our picks. We'll come on Wednesday, of course. We'll talk about the Kobe tribute, which you got me on today.
Yes. I mean, that literally, all that stuff was going on earlier today that you and I spoke about, and we're going to touch that. Very, very emotional, real raw feeling to it. A lot of nice humor that we'll discuss about in that memorial, and that tribute to the to Kobe and Gianna.
Yep.
And just a little bit of MLB talk, just a little bit.
Yeah, just since the spring games are upon us now.
Just
spring
a little bit.
Games, yeah.
So the first thing that we're going to lead off with what everybody saw on Saturday night, which was the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder fight.
You can call it a fight. It was a little bit more of a beatdown, but you can call it a fight. I mean, I cannot. The entire show here today is going to eat crow because we all had I had him. Cameron had him.
Yeah.
Marcus had him.
Definitely had him.
I had him.
Wayne had
Absolutely.
him. Everybody had Wilder winning. And hats off to the Gypsy King. Hats off to Tyson Fury. Yo, Tyson Fury, you did it. You literally did your job. You handed Deontay Wilder a whooping that he
the whole country.
It was crazy.
The whole country.
It was crazy.
The whole country took it out. And you know what? He did it in pretty amazing fashion. Obviously, we talked last show about what he had to come from before his first fight with Wilder. Dealing with depression and addiction. He was at least 300 pounds, and his motivation to get back in the ring was to knock Wilder out. He said it in 2013 that he was going to knock him out. 7 years later, it comes to fruition. So good on him, but overall, it's a fantastic fight, I think.
Where did you watch the fight? I
actually watched it with my pops.
Where did you watch it, Marcus?
Bruise Room.
Where did you watch it, Wayne?
I watched it on my phone.
Oh, so look, so here's the gist of my experience watching this fight. I had to watch the fight. It's the fight of the year.
Right.
So I'm sitting in my house. Everybody, you gonna order the fight? Yeah, I ordered the fight. Pay the $79.99 ESPN Plus plug. You know what I'm saying? So sure enough, I'm like, I'm gonna order the fight, but I don't want to watch the preliminary fights. So I'm gonna watch Bucks versus 76ers. Ben Simmons, Giannis, whatever. Obviously, Ben Simmons gets hurt first quarter. All of a sudden the Bucks are blowing them out, thinking nothing of it. I'm like, all right, still don't want to see the preliminary. I'm still gonna watch the end of this game.
Snooze fest coming.
I dozed off and woke up at 4 a.m. to the TV telling me your event has ended. I didn't see a second of the fight. I woke up at 4 a.m, had to search the internet, ESPN, all this type of stuff.
Oh, you didn't record it once you bought it?
No.
Oh, that's a pro veteran move right there.
So I literally go on the internet. I'm on social media. I'm on ESPN. I'm looking them and I rewatch the fight like literally as that happened at 4 a.m. because I'm like, there's no way that I just missed the best fight. Because obviously, you see what goes on afterwards because ESPN owns it, so they're able to show a lot more than usual. And I see it, and it's like, this is what I missed.
So you didn't want to check social media and spoil it.
At that point, I didn't care anymore. Yeah. I needed the content for our show because I wanted to know whether we were gonna have to eat crow or Wilder handle his business, and obviously that wasn't the case at all.
All right. So at 4 a.m, strung out with the sun coming up, you watched a boxing match.
My wife must think something's wrong with me. She must think like something's wrong with me because I ended up going upstairs after I did all my research. I didn't have to, be here till like early in the morning. I still had some time to spare, so I could go get some more sleep. And I told her, I said, she was the only one that said that Fury was gonna win. I was like, you were right. She was like, She was like a little. She gave me a little jab. Like, yeah, I was right. Yeah. So what?
Yeah, them and the good amount of followers that we have on IG calling the fight, probably an indecision, and also a few other people saying outright Fury was going to win. If you remember that the picks we had said that it was going to be a 7th round knockout. I was right about it being the 7th round knockout.
The wrong person,
wrong fighter.
So Marcus, what was the reaction at Bruise Room with the people at Bruise Room, and how were they reacting to Wilder losing?
Well, I wound up watching it on my phone at Bruise Room, because they don't show it at Bruise Room. They wasn't showing it on the TV. But my reaction was, "Oh my God, this can't be happening right now."
And Wayne, yours?
I look down, I'm watching the hits go, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm an idiot. I'm so dumb. Of course, Fury is the better overall fighter. It's just Wilder has that knockout punch, and that's why everybody was focusing on so hard. I think Cam said it earlier that I wish I did more research when I was making my picks or whatever. Because obviously when you look back, the Gypsy King had this, and he said he was going to do it. And every time he says he's going to do something, he ends up doing it.
Yeah, but no one's ever destroyed Wilder like that. I mean, he looked completely different.
No,
he looked complete.
Ever.
He was backing up. He wasn't going forward. You could see it in his eyes, the worrisome, you could just tell. And Gypsy King just looked like he was out there just having fun.
He was unscathed. He had a little mark on the left side of his forehead, but that was it. He probably could have went another 10 rounds after the fight was all said and done. But we talked before the show, Fury is a better technical fighter,
Absolutely.
but we thought that he was going to get caught with that big right hand. So the fact that it didn't happen, that's really why we gave those picks organically off the rip when we said Wilder, was because I figured, and last second before the fight started, I still thought Wilder was going to win, but I put a last second bet in on Tyson Fury to win by decision at plus 200. I said if he's the better fighter, so if he can at least make it to the 12th round and not get knocked out, he's got it.
We all saw the 42-pound difference in this fight. That's a fact.
That's
and
a huge
we were
factor.
watching it, Marcus, and I know you remember this. We were watching it on Friday's show when we came in and we saw the weigh-in, and we were just all shocked because how much bigger.
We actually thought that was going to hold him back.
It looked, and it didn't hold him back. It actually helped him, but it made Tyson Fury kind of bully Wilder, which we're not used to seeing.
No,
but
we're not.
You know what? He definitely he outweighed him in everything else.
Exactly.
Everything else, like his reach. He's younger, and all that stuff. He definitely was on top.
But all the technicalities of the fight went in the way of what's his name. But
of who? Fury?
Fury, yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember reading somewhere that yes, he outweighed him by such an amount, but Wilder actually was 2 pounds heavier than what he usually is in comparison to Fury. And some of these analytic guys are going crazy. Oh, that's enough to.
Now, Cam, I know you said.
Fury was 15 pounds heavier in this fight than he was in the first fight.
And I know you said. Now, I know you said before we came on that they were complaining, or the camp of Wilder was complaining that his costume might have attributed to him having weak legs before the fight.
I have it right here. We talked on Wednesday and on Friday about after the first fight, Wilder coming out and saying 12 weeks prior to this fight, I had broke my right arm. So sort of using that as a crutch for the reason why they tied. Came out after this fight, and he in the post-fight interview, he said something about his leg, but then afterwards, this came out saying the Bronze Bomber adds that his legs were weakened by the 45-pound costume he wore to the ring. Just take to the L.
No, wait, not even that. We left something out. How epic were those entrances?
Oh, my
those
God.
entrances were cinematic entrances.
I feel like I was watching Apollo Creed.
Gypsy King being carried by beautiful women
on a throne,
and then you got Wilder coming in as the Black Knight. It was great.
Yeah,
I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
And the slow song from that Fury came out to, everything about it was perfect. My dad, he's 71 years old. He's been watching fights. He saw Muhammad. He went to a movie theater when he was a kid to watch Muhammad Ali and Foreman. He's seen some of the greats. He was cracking up. He couldn't believe what was going on with the theatricals. They made it a spectacle, and that's what you want. That's what brings back the allure of boxing. So I loved it.
So now, as a group collectively, we all know that Wilder's he's gonna activate his rematch clause. Of course. He's gonna. I mean, you have to.
Why not?
He has to. But the problem is Tyson Fury only has 2 more fights with his promotion company. I believe his promotion company is Top Rank Promotions. He only has 2 more fights with them. So if it's a Wilder rematch, he definitely has to win, because if he doesn't win, then you got to forfeit to fight Wilder, and I don't think anybody wants to see that. The biggest fight that's going to draw the most money, that's going to sell out soccer stadiums throughout this country, throughout the world, is going to be Joshua versus Fury.
Joshua.
Yeah, Anthony
100%.
Joshua versus Tyson Fury in the UK at some big Wembley Stadium, or at Tottenham Stadium, or whatever it may be, some big location, 90,000 fans paying British pounds, ridiculous amount of money, or you could get the Saudi dudes. The Saudi dudes will come in and say, hey, come over here and come do this over here. And Anthony Joshua has no problem with that, because those Saudi dudes got so much money.
Yeah.
They'll put on a whole extravaganza to get that over there.
Yeah, and luckily, Fury has his choice between the two.
I think Fury does the right thing, and he gives Wilder the I mean, he can't do anything about it. Once Wilder activates the clause, they have to fight again.
Yeah, he earns that respect. Obviously, I mean, it's his first loss, and that's what you want to see. It's obviously what the people want to see. I'm not telling you anything you don't want to know, but who doesn't want to see a third match between these two guys?
Yeah, but the problem, I'm okay for the third, Wayne. But what if Wilder wins the third?
Yeah.
Then
You want to
see four?
Then Fury's gonna activate his.
It's almost like
it's like the Pacquiao thing again.
It's almost like that movie that, like, it's like Fast and Furious. Like, you constantly keep making Fast and Furious. We're up to 9 now. It was a Fast and Furious. The first movie was about cars. Now they're flying in the air.
The most wanted list.
That's a cash cow, and this is also a cash cow, no doubt.
But it waters down the actual event.
It waters it down. But if these two guys are truly the best fighter at their division,
there you go.
Let's get it on. I'll watch it until the wheels fall off.
You got a dude in the UK that's like, hey, hello, over here. Remember me? Like,
let's have one everywhere. We'll have it in Miami on the 5th rematch. we'll go to LA in the 6th.
Hey, listen, I think everything was great. The stars came out to watch it. I think, who was it? It was Patrick Mahomes was there. Draymond Green was there.
Oh, you can go on and on. Michael J. Fox was there.
Did you see Stephen A. Smith's face? I was dying when I saw Stephen A. Smith's face. That had me going.
There's a beautiful picture of the referee just talking to Wilder, explaining to him why he did it, why his camp threw the towel in, and then in the distance you just see Stephen A's face like a piece of stone.
Let me give hats off to Wilder's corner, because they protected him.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So hats off to them, because I like what they said about how, you know what, we lose today to be able to have another day to fight. Because if I lose you today, you can't fight tomorrow. So hats off to his corner. Did anybody? I didn't. It's even my fault too. Did anybody see who Max had in the fight?
Max Kellerman.
Max Kellerman. Yeah,
he had Wilder. I thought
he had Wilder in the fight. Yeah, he had Wilder.
So then
but he said it wasn't going to be easy.
So Marcus, don't feel bad, because everybody was wrong.
Everyone picked
except
Wilder.
my wife. which is normally how it works. That's how it works.
And you know what? It's funny. When I was watching that end, good job on the ref. I forget his name. Kenny. I forgot his name. I apologize on that, because he's actually one of the bigger refs in this racket. Mm-hmm. It almost seemed simultaneous when they threw the towel in that he stopped it. You didn't know whether he was stopping the fight or he saw in his peripheral vision that the towel was thrown. So listen, he earned his money last night.
Wilder wanted to go out on his sword, but I applaud his corner for doing that, because
absolutely.
I mean we've seen 2 instances in the past, I think a year and a half or something like that, where boxers have died because of the brain hemorrhaging and the swelling or whatever, and they end up dying. And no one wants that.
No
one wants that.
And his ear, the amount of blood that was coming out of his ear because they ruptured his eardrum. And by the way, a lot of people were saying that's why he came out. That happened at the end of the second round. And that's why from the start of round 3, not only did I knew I was losing that bet, I said there's no way this goes to a decision. He's going down. But that's why he looked drunk, Deontay Wilder, because his equilibrium was thrown off because his eardrum was ruptured.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I know there was so many people. If I would have watched the fight live, I would have been shocked. I saw the fight afterwards, and when I saw the fight afterwards, I was just like, Tyson Fury just did what he said he was going to do. He predicted it. He said it was going to happen. He said it in the post-match interview. He said, listen, I knew I had to get the knockout in order to get the win, which is pretty much what he did. He handled his business. He was in the ring having fun. And, I mean, other than the fact that he's a man of his word and there's a clause in the contract to give Wilder the rematch, my personal opinion, I don't even think Tyson Fury should fight Wilder again. I think he should go after Anthony Joshua. I think he should go after that big payday and solidify who's literally the best heavyweight on the planet.
Yeah, and Wilder's going to be there. Fight Joshua. If you win that match, you settle it up in a third matchup between him and Deontay Wilder.
So early predictions. Let me get this right now. Really early predictions. I want Wayne. I want Marcus. I want Cameron. So Wayne, you tell me Wilder versus Fury 3. Who wins?
You're asking me to pick that right now?
Yeah, way
That's
too early.
tough.
Go ahead.
Wow.
That's tough.
Because there's a lot of stuff. Because how old is
They're
what's his name?
33 and 31
it's just
apiece.
one or the other,
Yeah.
dude. It's just one or the
All right,
other.
well, then I'm going to pick the younger guy. I'm going to pick Wilder.
All right, so who you gonna go with, Marcus?
No, Wilder's not younger.
He is not?
Fury's
All right, so
younger
go-
by
go-
2 years.
And then that's what I meant. And I'm going for Fury.
All right, so you're going for Fury.
Clarify.
Go,
There.
Marcus.
Can I go last?
Cameron.
I mean, to be honest with you, after what I saw in the first fight, thinking that Fury won the first fight, and obviously the beatdown he gave him in the second fight, I would be silly to not pick Fury. So I'll go with the.
I'm not
Tyson
going against
Fury.
my wife. I'm going with Fury.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm not.
Now the
I'm not-
entire show
I'm
is
not doing it
flipped.
again. My wife was walking out with her chest out the whole day, like feeling herself. Like
Yeah.
I told you.
What surprised to me was before the fight happened, the vibes of the locker rooms, how truly different they were.
Oh yeah, how much fun Fury was having.
He was singing "Don't Stop Believing" by Jury
Yeah, he
20
was
minutes
having-
before the fight.
He was having a ball, man.
and
He did the same thing when he faced Klitschko and beat Klitschko too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. He was
Okay.
he was in the locker room just dancing around, having
likes-
a good old
yeah,
time.
he likes to stay loose.
He likes to stay loose.
And Wilder, he could have thought he burned a hole in the rug. How much he was pacing back and forth with the look on his face. So
I
it's a little.
I like Wilder to give his best the next fight.
Damn, you answered that like 30 minutes late.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I had to think already because for one, it's too early.
It is way
Oh, of
too
course.
early.
All right,
It's
so here's the next question. So who wins if it's Joshua versus Fury?
Joshua.
I don't have enough.
So
research.
Wayne, just
Yeah.
for the record, Wayne
Joshua.
has
Go ahead,
Joshua, Marcus, Fury.
I will not pick it. I need to do my research. That's why I messed up on this last fight. I will not pick it. I haven't seen Joshua fight.
We're not
Nah.
launching a space satellite into.
All right, I got to draw. I got to draw on that
No,
one.
but you gotta.
I'm taking Tyson Fury.
You're not gonna pick one unless you know the fighter.
I'm taking Tyson Fury if Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury
I like
fight each
Fury
other.
too.
Yeah, some of the
It's
stories.
so hard.
Some of the stories that I saw when they were doing the promo before the fight, like how and this is one of the reasons why I picked Wilder, and I think a lot of us did because of his knockout ability. But they said that his both of his trainers, one of them had a bodysuit on, and he was taking punches to the bodysuit, right?
Right.
One of his hooks, Deontay Wilder, went under the bodysuit, and he felt sore. He went to the doctor. He ended up having a hernia. Another
believe it.
trainer
I
had
believe
a focus pad on his hand, like one of those punching hands, popped his shoulder out a few times.
I believe it, man. That guy can hit, man. That's like, I mean,
He's got torque.
he can hit, dude.
Yeah.
He can hit. It's
And that's why we were fooled. I mean,
I was shocked. When I woke up and I looked on because ESPN is the first thing I saw. When I woke up and I looked at ESPN and they say Fury won. I was like, oh my! First thing I thought is how great it's gonna be on Monday for our show. And I texted the group chat because we have a group chat, and I texted and I said, it was 4 a.m. I didn't care who was asleep, who was awake. I said, this is gonna be great content for Monday's show.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I love most about Fury and how he won the fight was because he used the things to his advantage. We talked about his weight difference. You can tell the entire fight
he was pushing
he was
him.
leaning on top of him. He would put his arm on him. He would put him in a headlock.
And that
he
weight
let
starts,
his weight.
yeah,
right.
that weight starts to take a weight on Deontay
Absolutely,
Wilder.
so smart.
So let me get to this promo. This part of the show is brought to you by El Cubano Sandwich Shop. Use the promo code EAC and receive discounts on online pickups and delivery orders. Enjoy a cafe con leche or that natural pre-workout shot of Cuban coffee to start your day. Daily lunch specials and their steak sandwich is next level. Once again, use the promo code EAC. That's elcubanosandwichshop.com or 954-906-5110. Remember, use the promo code EAC.
So we're going to talk about the XFL coming up here, but have to mention the continuation of the theatricals from the fight. Did you by any chance catch Tyson Fury singing American Pie by Don
No,
McLean?
because I'm telling you, the way I watched it, I had to watch it afterwards, and when I caught it afterwards, some of that stuff was omitted, so I didn't get a chance to see that.
Yeah. So he was trying to get, the interviewer was trying to get a few questions in. The poor guy, he only got like 1 or 2 questions in before he completely grabbed the mic. Fury started singing "Bye Bye Miss American Pie." He had, first of all, which is a troll because he's from the UK and he was singing American Pie.
He was having fun. He was just being playful.
Yeah, he was a great time. But he had the whole place singing. It was great. It was honestly. It was great. He started giving the mic to some older people for them to sing. It was just people like to see that in boxing. So
He was just being playful. He has a nice charisma to him. He has a good personality, so he was just being playful.
yeah. So he's done that before. He's actually sang Aerosmith to his wife after his last win, I think. So before this first fight. So you're going to continue to see that. Hopefully,
It was great. It was a great overall fight. It was great content before and after the fight. It was just, the only thing I didn't like is seeing Deontay Wilder just lay on the bed with the towel to his ear because no one really knew what was going on. But thank God he's going to be okay and everything's going to be good and we're going to see a third one.
Yeah, we'll definitely see a third one. But I saw a tweet before we jump here. Some guy was like, "Listen, if some guy starts singing karaoke as I'm walking out after I just took an L, just kill me right there."
Nah, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. So now we're going to get into this XFL weekend, week 3. Great games. Listen, I'm going to call out blah, blah, blah sports. You know who you are. You wrote that article about bad quarterbacking, XFL this. I've been looking for that article writer again to write something on the XFL. He hasn't.
He's quiet, right?
He's quiet.
Yeah.
He is quiet. As a matter of fact, I saw an article by Yahoo Finance that was sitting there saying the right things that XFL is going to do in comparison to any other league that tried to come out. So they're thinking that the XFL is going to stay because the product on the field is showing that it's worth. So game number 1 on Saturday was the Houston Roughnecks. They went to Tampa Bay. They were minus 6.5 point favorites, and they covered.
I know. I told you Tampa was going to show up. I told you they were going to get that offense in the end zone, and they didn't cover for me by a half a point.
That hook is brutal.
I know.
The hook will sometimes save you, and it will sometimes kill you. And in this case, it killed Cam, so that was one for me. In that game, man, once again, Mr. XFL, Mr. MVP, Mr. Patrick Mahomes. They actually had XFL MVP Patrick Mahomes named him PJ Walker.
Really?
They were like comparing the two. PJ Walker.
MVPJ is what they're calling him.
PJ Walker balled once again. He had 4 total touchdowns. I think he threw for like 3 and some change. And then Cam Phillips was just the beneficiary of all those receiving yards because Cam, if I'm not mistaken, also had a really, really good game. 8 receptions for like 190. And you know what? They're just the best team in XFL.
Yeah, it'll surprise me if next year Cam Phillips and PJ Walker are
No
NFL
chance.
jersey.
No chance. And the funny part to me, Cameron, is just that I'm now seeing these articles about how these like regional or area articles are being written about how this player specifically is a former Bills player or a former Colts player or ex-Giant, and they're describing these XL players to have a connection to these NFL teams.
So what they're trying to say is the only reason these players are doing well is because at one point they were in the NFL. They're NFL worthy.
Exactly. Which is I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
I think that let them shine on their own.
Right.
You don't have to explain that they were a former player on this team. No, we don't need to hear that. They're doing really well. They're going to be somebody else's future player on that team.
Right, and you said it last week. You said the NFL is definitely going to swagger jack some of these new techniques and tricks that the XFL is doing. Now they're just swagger jacking these players, and their success in the league, saying, "Oh, these are NFL guys."
So Wayne, what did you think about the Tampa Bay Vipers? Because they actually ended up getting into the end zone in this game.
For once, right?
For once, right?
Instead of their defense getting in the end zone.
They're doing a lot of their NFL counterpart of just turning the ball over a million times. Well, I remember in that first game that they had, it was just interception. They were against that New York team, right?
Yeah, that was the first game.
But I think you get a mulligan on that because
it's the first exactly
it's
the first
week one. Like let them figure it out on their own.
I mean, you're seeing progress, and where you're seeing the most progress is I think the offensive line. So you could actually start getting some.
You watch that?
actually.
What?
Hey, I like this insight. Please
You watched
continue.
that?
Yeah, you can actually see progress in that offensive line. So if you have, I know that this league isn't really meant for the running backs because they want to get all this explosiveness going down the field. 6 points here with your 3 extra points and whatever. But now that you're starting to see that there's a little more cohesion, not just Tampa Bay, but every single one of these XFL teams, they're starting to really
No.
work together.
Except New York Guardians.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about
Wayne
that.
is right though, because Tampa Bay is one of those teams that have a dual set running back. They have
Absolutely.
2 running backs that usually get over 100 yards apiece.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, so it's got to have a good offensive line for that reason.
Now that you're starting to see it from the play, because sometimes they move that camera over so you can see a little bit. You're starting to see the pockets open up a little bit.
Oh,
Give it
shout
a
out to the
little gap.
XFL for all of those camera
Right?
angles. The camera angles are ridiculous.
It looks like I'm playing Madden.
One guy, he overdosed on the camera angle. He literally, a flag got thrown. He put the camera on the flag and watch it. I don't need to see this yellow flag on the floor. Get this out of here. I mean, I get you're trying to be creative, but you don't got to be that creative. I don't want to see, the yellow flag on the floor. But let's get to the second game, which you were covering,
Second game, yep.
which was the Dallas Renegades, who were -5 going to Seattle.
Yep, and that game was ended up 24-12 Dallas.
And we both had them.
Right, we were on that game together. That was the one W I was able to have over the weekend here. And by the way, I just noticed you're actually wearing a crown today? Is that from
I woke
Party
up like
City?
this. I have no idea what you're talking
You
about.
don't know what you're wearing on your head right now?
Wait, you see anything?
You don't see that thing on your head right there?
Oh yes, I forgot. Since I'm the XFL guru this week with my 4 picks, I decided to anoint myself just like Tyson Fury anointed himself as the king, and I'm the king of the XFL this week.
Yeah,
I can't guarantee that this is going to be
call
here
back
next
to
week.
earlier, but okay.
I can't guarantee this is going to be here next week, but I'm
We'll
the
pass
king.
that thing back and forth, but if you're watching on YouTube, you can check that out. Shout out to our sound guy, Marcus Mack, who had put up a great post today, sort of ragging me about my XFL picks. So, I wonder where that post was when I was the XFL guru.
You gotta
the first
forgive
week.
us. We're getting creative as we get, get better
you're
and better
right.
on the show. We're gonna do more things. We're gonna explore more things. Listen, EAC show on Instagram. Please go like, comment on YouTube, subscribe, all that good stuff.
EAC
Please,
show.
the EAC show. Yes.
Cameron had the juice.
Yeah.
Cameron had the juice.
Yeah.
Not
No
this
doubt.
week. Not this week.
So for the Dallas Renegades, I mean, we got to see Landry Jones. He's starting to get better. Quarterback rating is a little high. Did he throw 2 picks? Yeah, he threw 2 picks. He actually threw a deflected double pass. Did you see that?
I didn't.
So it was a pass that was thrown that was deflected back to him.
Oh, he caught it and he was able to
caught
throw
it and
it.
he threw it and it was a completion.
Oh, that
And
only
it
in the XFL.
And it was totally legal too.
Yep.
And then the tight end as well. I lost the fact of his name. His name was Donald Parham. He ended up having like 5 and 101 in a touchdown. He really balled as well. And then you end up hearing and seeing in articles, and like I said earlier, they're trying to say, oh, he's a former player in the NFL. He should be in the NFL.
Right.
They're pushing it. They're like literally they're just pushing it so much. These guys are gonna get their chances in the NFL, but as of right now, let's enjoy them where they are right now.
Yeah, let them shine. We'll worry about all this after April, after the postseason for the XFL is done. We could do all that talk at that point.
And then we had the Sunday games. So the Sunday games were the New York Guardians. It's just ridiculous. The New York Guardians is just atrocious
Just
right now.
another disappointing
Against
New
the
York
Seattle Battlehawks. St. Louis Battlehawks, sorry. And the St. Louis Battlehawks were -10. They covered easily.
Yeah.
And shout out to all the fans in St. Louis because there was 29,000 fans for a home opener in St. Louis. So shout out to all those St. Louis fans that came out to support the Battlehawks.
Yeah, bad on me for not realizing that was St. Louis's first home game. We saw great things out of Jordan Tiamu week after week, the quarterback for the St. Louis Battlehawks. So Midwestern fans, they always show out for their sports teams, especially a very proud city like St. Louis. So great atmosphere there.
In that game, we saw our first XFL kick return for a touchdown.
Yeah, and it was great.
It was great. The pitch, and
Yeah.
then went the other direction, and it went straight. And listen, whatchamacallit, special teams and their defense played amazing. The special teams for the Battlehawks literally had, if I'm not mistaken, they were 3 for 3 for field goals, and they had a 58-yarder. Like that's a
Was
rocket.
that an NFL quarterback?
You mean like NFL kicker?
Yeah, was that?
No, I don't know if he ever had a chance in the NFL. But if you can hit a 58-yard field goal, that's no joke. But no, I mean. The Battlehawks were literally killing the Guardians. Matt McGloin once again was seeing ghosts. He couldn't do anything. He was benched. They played Williams. I forgot his first name, but he's from North Carolina. They played him in the game, and there was a little bit of frustration too because the wide receiver for the New York Guardians, the coach McBride, Gilbride. Sorry, Gilbride came over to him and started talking to him and telling him, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna have to lean on you because some people that were supposed to be leaders on this team aren't leading."
Wow.
So
already some locker room controversy.
Yeah, he got called out, and you know what? The New York Guardians need to do that because they need some turnaround. Because the leader right now is not leading those men, and there's men that are trying to get to that next level
and are trying to get paid.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you're doing them a disservice by not trying to put them in the best positions to succeed and to win.
Yeah, no doubt.
So you lost that one, I won that one. And then we got the last game, which was the DC Defenders, who were 8.5-point favorites, going to LA, playing the LA Wildcats. Now, Cam, you know this and I know this. I called them to win with the spread and money line.
You did, and I asked you, is that your special bonus pick of the week? The money line for LA. I mean, being an 8.5-point dog, that must have at least been a plus 250 line. And wow, I mean, that was really the shocker of this past week.
I think that's the main reason why I'm wearing this crown on my head right now.
I think so too.
I
Anyone can pick the spreads,
I think I'm feeling
but
myself a little bit. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, because what I saw, and Wayne, you can add to this if you agree or you disagree. What I saw from when they played the week before the LA Wildcats, I saw that just Josh Johnson was just a little bit off here and there. I didn't really think that
overthrows. You said,
yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. And then I just thought that Cardale Jones was going to run into his bump on the road, which he did. He threw 4 picks in the game. I think they had 5 turnovers in total for the LA Wildcats. And it was just, I knew that was going to happen. Trey McBride absolutely balled against a team that traded him.
Yep.
He balled out until he got concussed at the end, and they had to take him out of the game. Right. I mean, that was a vicious hit.
Yeah,
by the way.
You called that game really down to a T. So a big props on you for that one. And
you're still not getting this crown, though.
I know, no. Don't worry, I'll earn it next week. It's not a problem. But the guy I want to point out in that game, obviously Josh Johnson, the quarterback, tremendous job. You mentioned Trey McBride, their defense balled out with 4 interceptions. They were playing lights out.
What you're going to say too.
Martez Carter, the running back.
Oh my God!
Two touchdowns on the ground, and he had 1 in the air on a screen pass. And the guy was running angry behind his pads downhill. It was something you want to see out of an NFL running back.
When a man calls out that when he gets into the end zone, the next time he gets into the end zone, he's going to do a flip. And he did the flip to get in the end zone. And we posted that on our IG page. It was ridiculous.
Oh man,
he front flipped into the end zone. The only thing he didn't do was stick the landing.
Did he call? Did he
call
it on the sideline to the reporter?
He called it. He called it to the reporter.
Next time I get into the end zone, I'm doing a flip. He flipped into the end zone.
That's the good thing about these sideline reporters is that you can get guys to
not when you're interviewing Matt McGloin, because Matt McGloin is horrible on the sideline reporting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's horrible at sideline.
He's got no flair and he's got no quarterback talent.
LA came out to play. LA really balled. I mean, DC's gonna go back to the drawing board. They're gonna figure a few things out. Cardale Jones did not look good at all. They didn't establish their running game. Their defense tried their best to keep them in the game. They just couldn't. LA was just too much for them. And shout out to the player. I totally forgot. I sent it to Joey because we're going to try to figure something out on the show where we do where we find the 5 flyest kicks in either sports, or like baseball, basketball, XFL, NFL, whatever.
For your cause cleats for the NFL.
We just went, and this one guy for the LA Wildcats was wearing some Jordan 1s, custom Jordan 1s, and they were so fly.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was nuts. So shout out to them too. But like I said, it was good football this weekend. So anybody that is enjoying the XFL, you're getting exactly what they're promoting.
Yeah, and I got a few texts from a couple of people saying this week's games are great. This is good football.
The numbers come out tomorrow, so we'll see what those numbers are going to be.
Yeah, that's interesting. We saw after week 2 that it was over 3.5 million people still tuning in. And also, you mentioned the cleats. The LA Wildcats jerseys were fire.
So
the
fire.
all blacks with the red and the orange.
So fire. So
I mean,
question.
they showed out in pretty much every which way. And also with that game, about the DC Defenders, you mentioned guys like Cardell Jones, even guys like that in the NFL will have games like that.
Of course, of
So,
course.
I mean,
of
that's
course.
natural.
I mean, somebody's gonna sit there and say Cardell's pretending. He's not really. They're not. The DC's not really. No. Cardell can play. He just had a bad game. You know, Aaron Rodgers has a bad game. You know, Tom Brady has a bad game. It happens. You know, it's part of the game.
It
the
is.
other team just played better. You hat tip to them. Get back to the drawing board. Put it behind you and keep it moving.
So now, absolutely, we know Cardell will bounce back as a quarterback, but as a team, you saw in the first 2 weeks the DC Defenders, both home games. You know, they're out of their element here in week 3. The question I want to ask is: are they the DC Defenders or are they the DC Pretenders?
Oh, come on, man! I mean, they had one really
bad game.
One
against an
really
0-2
poor
team.
game against but that happens, and you can't. If it happens again next week, then we can start being concerned.
Well, I didn't look at the slate for next week. I have no idea
I don't
who
know
plays.
either.
So Cameron does though. Cameron
You
has
do?
everybody. So and Cameron, who does the DC Defenders play?
They play at home, or excuse me, they play on the road against Tampa, who we saw lit it up this week.
They're lucky because if they were gonna play Houston Roughnecks,
Yeah, they're playing
it was a
Houston
wrap.
now,
Then
then
I would
Houston
literally
done.
call him a pretender from right now.
Yeah.
It'd be over. Like it'd literally be over.
I think maybe this is just me sticking my neck out for Cardell Jones. I almost said Cordell Patterson for whatever reason. For Cardell Jones. Because he's been, I think, in my opinion, probably the best quarterback in the league. And yeah, you could say PJ has been great too. But
Wrong, sir.
No, I don't agree with that.
We are a
one
PJ
bit.
Walker
Yeah,
podcast
PJ
show.
without
the
question.
King, Your Highness.
Yeah, the
Okay,
King, Your
well-
Highness. When you have 11 touchdowns and 1 interception, no,
Yeah.
sorry.
Respect, he is a game manager.
Yes.
But the point we made on the last show on Friday was that the first 2 games, Cardell Jones'
Played at home.
defense.
And he played at home.
Yeah, he played at home,
Oh, yeah.
but his defense has allowed him to play with a lead.
no doubt. But there's just something to be said for a quarterback that can game manage, but that's also exactly what it says, controlling the game and not giving the other team that chance.
So the same media that I rag on is the same media that's calling PJ Walker Mr. Pat Mahomes. No one's calling Cardell Jones even close
Of course not.
to Lamar Jackson or Russell Wilson or whatever it may
Of
be.
course.
Amelia, we were ahead of the game. After week 1 of the XFL, I said, this was the guy to watch out for. He's from Temple. He went there from 13 to 16. This was the guy. And week after week, we see him continue to perform
And he
at
does
the high
it,
level.
and he does it every way imaginable. I saw he fumbled a snap and still scored a touchdown on a fumble snap.
Johnny Manziel style.
My only thing with PJ is that when the play breaks down or when he has to hold on to the ball for a long period of time or whatever, that's when his completion percentage starts going down like crazy.
Any quarterback except the
no,
name Ben
no, 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 no.
Roethlisberger.
Aaron Rodgers is
but
good outside of the
but
pocket.
it's going down like 67%. It's like some ridiculous.
All right,
So are you
thing.
saying he needs a good offensive line in order
He
to excel
need-
at the next
ex-
level?
I'm not going to say that he needs a good offensive line because we haven't really seen enough yet.
I'm going to tell you
But
right
yes.
now, teams that can probably use a PJ Walker in the NFL.
Colts.
The Colts, my Jets, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean,
The Dolphins.
like I can name like 7 or 8 teams that literally
You're-
can,
The Browns.
The Jets have Sam Darnold, who's probably the best prospect right now.
No, I wouldn't say all that. Sam Darnold's good in my opinion.
You give him another year.
That's a totally different
Yeah,
subject. That's
yeah.
a totally different subject. That's a totally different subject.
Give Darnold another year. But
So let's get to next week's games. So let's start off with game 1 on Saturday, which I'm gonna take. I'll take game 1.
You're taking game 1 in true fashion that we have here. L.A. coming off that huge win against DC Defenders, the 30-point win as an 8.5 point underdog. They're going to New York to play them at 2 p.m. And that game's on ABC. You can catch that. That spread is L.A. -7. The over/under is 40.
LA -7 all day long.
Well, are we doing our picks on Wednesday?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot.
Little preview from the guru.
Sorry. I forgot about that. I did forget about. I got ahead of myself. Go ahead. So what's game 2? What's game 2 for you?
Game 2 will be Seattle at St. Louis. That game's at 5 p.m. and it's on Fox. The spread is -12 St. Louis, another inflated spread from St. Louis. We saw them do it with a 10-point spread, so
Game
why not
3?
here? Game 3.
I have the early game on Sunday.
Yeah, the game 3 will be the battle for Texas. That's Houston Renegades versus the Houston Roughnecks versus the Dallas Renegades. That's at 4 p.m. The spread is -1 Houston. The over/under is 50, so close. That's on FS1. The next game is DC at Tampa, 7 p.m. on ESPN2. This part of the show is brought to you by ElCubanoSandwichShop.com. Use the promo code EAC and receive discounts on online pickup or delivery orders. Enjoy a cafe con leche or that natural pre-workout, a shot of Cuban coffee to start your day. Daily lunch specials and their steak sandwich is next level. Once again, use the promo code EAC. That's ElCubanoSandwichShop.com or 954-906-5110. Remember, promo code EAC.
Dude, you're getting better and better with the promos, man.
Appreciate you, man. Practice makes perfect.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
So on Wednesday, as Emilio said last segment, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about our Week 4 picks. We'll talk lines. We'll talk over-unders.
XFL, yeah.
Excuse me. Thank you, XFL. We'll talk, what we're looking for in each matchup. We'll dissect those games. But, as far as at the end of the show here, we wanted to jump into, the start of the MLB. We had spring training games.
Yeah, a little bit of MLB talk. We got our first spring training action, some stuff going on, fan signs being taken away from them because they're expressing their feelings on how they feel about the Astros signs. Oh, by the way,
that's sign stealing.
Jose
That's sign stealing.
Jose Altuve debuted today and got hit by a pitch. Just to let you know.
Already?
You already got.
Play?
I don't even know. Dusty Baker said he felt like it was unintentional, but it's exciting to see that he already got hit by a pitch.
So first game already got hit. They're 1 for 1.
Yeah, pretty much.
Spoken rule.
But Wayne, in all actuality, I said this on previous shows that the games just needed to start in order for some of this stuff to die down.
I really believe that the organization as a whole just didn't do a very good job.
Yeah, agreed.
And I'm sure everybody agrees that they just did not do a very good job in the sincerity of their apology. But at the same time, I think Scott Van Pelt said it on on ESPN once that what were we really expecting? Because
of course,
they're gonna apologize, and it's never going to be enough of an apology, and we're all gonna do this or we're all gonna do that.
But people will accept genuineness. And the apologies felt like they were just doing it because they knew they had to do it. Like for me,
they got caught.
Honestly, if I had to apologize, I'm like, you know what? I messed up. I know it was wrong. I effed up. It is what it is. Now I got to go outside and prove myself.
The worst part is that it's worth it. The cheating was almost worth it because they're not getting punished at all.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
The cheating kids don't listen to that. The cheating wasn't worth it.
I'm not saying that it was worth it. And you should do it, but the way that they're being punished or the way that it's being dealt out right now, they're only apologizing because they got caught.
Yeah, I mean but that's everybody.
But I think you're right with your original point that once the games start and once the league starts kicking off, once it's
tee off,
sure, whatever. Then some of this is going to die down. But right now, we have literally nothing else to talk about.
I mean, in all actuality, once the games start being played and, the ball starts flying out the parks and people start getting struck out or whatever it may be, the Astros players are going to get thrown at. Yeah, they're going to get hit. Yeah, there's going to be an occasional segment on it or whatever it may be. But once the game actually starts to be played, this stuff will start to die down. Everything will get back to normal. We'll get back to seeing the great game of baseball, which it really is, and we'll go from there.
Right. And Emilio, you and I are big fans of the Dan Le Batard show. You can check all his stuff out. They're usually on either ESPNU or 2 in the morning at 10, from 10 to 1, Monday through Friday. But they had Tim Kirchin on, the legend of baseball, Tim Kirchin.
The midget?
Yeah, the midget. The other day, the other day they had him on, and he made a very good point. He said the players that are coming out, these Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, all these guys that want action done on the players, it's not a malicious thing. If they were granted immunity, as we talked about, the Astros players, and they went after the top, the manager, the whoever's in the front office. If the players would have came out, and it was a month where they didn't say anything, if the players just would have came out and been apologetic and said, listen, we know what we did was wrong. We understand the repercussions and the wake of what happened that took place. But they came out and they were cocky.
Okay, but listen,
they said the bare minimum, and then they went back to the clubhouse.
But listen, and I'm going to explain to you why, and both of you guys don't know this because I have insiders in baseball. There was a gag order on the players. The players were told not to say anything.
Not to admit,
Not to say nothing. You needed to speak to ownership, PR. They were literally going to tell these guys what they needed to say and how to handle it.
I can respect that, but that's the reason the uproar of other players is that they didn't feel any remorse.
So that's why we said earlier, Wayne and I, and you and I both agreed that this was piss poor handled because the organization did do a good job of PRing the whole situation. So you get those raw reactions from all these players, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing anybody can do about it. I told you, if I get caught doing something wrong, hey, I messed up.
Hey, you got me.
You got me.
Yeah.
That's it. It's over. I just have to prove myself, and for the rest of my life, prove myself that I did the right thing, you know, and that's it. That you go from there.
You're right. The damage is done.
The damage is done, and get over it already. Now the games are gonna come. People are gonna start realizing, hey, you know what? Let's play. Let's really see who's the good guys on the field, who really can go to the World Series, who's going to come out the East, the West, the Central, whatever it may be in each league. And we'll go from there and we'll see who's in the World Series. There ain't going to be no cheating this year, that's for sure.
No, yeah, everyone's going to be on their best behavior.
Yeah,
At least not using electronics.
There ain't going to be no cheating, that's for sure. So now, just we didn't want to get into too much MLB talk, but we wanted to tackle the biggest thing in sports today, which was Kobe Bryant's memorial. Amazing, amazing scene. So many names, stars. The eulogy by his wife was absolutely phenomenal. It touched my heart.
Yeah, it was rough.
It was. I mean, she did her best to hold on and keep her emotions there so she can still deliver the eulogy that Gigi and Kobe deserved. And Michael Jordan and the Sugar Honey Iced Tea moment of that memorial was Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, yeah. What a great...
Shaquille O'Neal literally told a story. And for guys that are listening or watching on YouTube, if you guys didn't know, Shaquille O'Neal told a story about how some of his teammates came up to him and said, hey, man, Shaq, Kobe ain't passing the ball. And Shaq said, don't worry about it. I'll go talk to him. And then he goes over to Kobe and he says, Kobe, there's no I in team. Kobe says, I know. But there's an M-E in that mother, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's an M-E in that, So that's when Shaq literally had all the respect in the world for Kobe. So that's definitely the Sugar Honey Iced Tea moment of the memorial. And I think Beyonce did an amazing job singing XO. I think Michael Jordan did his best impression.
Yeah,
and he also realized that, you know what? He was humorous with it.
Yeah.
So there was a touch of realness and laughter and a little bit of Ganter. I think Ganter's called. Yeah. So a little bit of playfulness with it in a moment of sorrow where Michael Jordan said, "Man, I'm gonna be a meme for another 3, 4, 5 years," because he knew him crying with all that emotion. Yeah. He knew that it was going to end up being on social media. He was okay with that.
That's what they try to do, though. They call it a celebration of life. Yeah. They try to bring light to it. It's not a memorial of death. It's a celebration of life. So I thought Michael Jordan did a great job of how classy he was and some of the memories he brought up with Kobe.
I like how he described how Kobe was so into being great that he would call him all the time about certain things, and Michael would just in the beginning he said it was just annoying. It was it was annoying as hell, and then all of a sudden he learned to embrace it and be a big brother to Kobe Bryant. To get some of that inside stuff that we knew nothing about, I felt it was amazing. Yeah. To hear Michael Jordan, the legend, greatest of all time, talk about Kobe in that nature was special.
Yeah, and just going off of what you said, sort of being a big brother, that you see that in really all sports. Like fading quarterbacks. I'm a Packer fan. I just want to mention, Brett Favre being really not receptive to give that love to Aaron Rodgers, but then ultimately finding out that it's bigger than just that. It's for the love of the game. It's to move it on in a better light. And for Michael, he's kind of that same guy. He's sort of a emotionally sheltered guy. So for him to open up and bring Kobe into his world and teach him a few things. I mean, that's love. That's
Wayne, did you see Diana Taurasi take a dig at LeBron James?
Not the place. Not the place at all. Like
celebration of life. We can do this.
Celebration for those guys that are watching and listening and don't know. Diana Taurasi took a dig at LeBron James by describing Gigi's fadeaway jump shot at 11 years old and how good it was, and said LeBron James still doesn't have one of those to this day.
In Staples Center,
like just literally trolled LeBron James.
Tell that to the Toronto Raptors and when that whole LeBronto era when he was hitting those fadeaways from
I thought everything was great. Shout out to whoever put this together. I think Vanessa Bryan did an amazing job of holding her composure and delivering an amazing eulogy for her husband and her daughter. It's extremely difficult time. We all loved Kobe. I know for a fact that in the very beginning, I just thought Kobe was, Anthony Hardaway. I just thought it was just going to be Shaq's sidekick. It wasn't until Shaq left to where I really got to embrace what Kobe Bryant ended up becoming, which is Mamba mentality. That Black Mamba didn't really kick in for me until he did it on his own. And he did.
Right.
He did. I mean, he was phenomenal. He was an amazing player, competitive through the roof. I mean, I guarantee you if he was on the show right now, he'd probably be competing against me and you to make sure that we bring the best content as we possibly can.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to jump off from is I was obviously young when he first started, so I didn't really catch a lot of his earlier years. But the one thing as I started to grow as a basketball fan that I got from Kobe is above anything else and above any other player that was on the court with him, he was going to be the hardest worker. Is his work ethic and how competitive he was. You play a game of Scrabble with him, and he's itching to win.
Yeah.
I mean, anything he does, he made other people great because he made other people want to match the intensity.
It's
and the
almost
work
like
ethic.
if you're a friend of his or a teenager, like you went to high school with him or whatever, it gets to a point where you're like, damn, I don't want to play with you no more. You take everything too serious sometimes. Like,
Yeah, we're just playing Monopoly.
Yeah,
man.
like seriously, like why are you buying up all Boardwalk
It's
and
just
Barclays? And, like
Monopoly.
you're putting hotels on it and houses. You can't even put hotel and houses on. Like what are you
railroad.
doing?
What
Yeah,
are you
no,
doing?
like,
It's a railroad.
like
what are you doing?
you're charging me interest that doesn't even exist in the game on
Right.
some of these properties.
Can't
Like
even
this
pass
is nuts.
go at this point.
At this point, but shout outs to everybody that put it together. It was really nice. I saw Steph Curry, I saw Magic Johnson, I saw James Harden, I saw Russell Westbrook. The list just went on and on and on about the amount of people that were at this eulogy. And I think that there's still a game to be played tonight, isn't
Tonight
it?
the Clippers are playing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like some people didn't even have a chance to pay their respects like they wanted to,
Right.
So I mean, they did an amazing job. Kobe Bryant's an absolute legend, and I think they handled this perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, and hopefully from this moment on, Shaq said it. At this point, let the healing begin.
Yeah.
Sort of
Yeah.
everything ends here tonight. Let the healing begin here, and let basketball sort of bring us into whatever joy we can get out of
How
this.
funny was Shaq's telling Kobe that he was gonna hold the girls down and teach him
not
all
teach
his
him his field
moves,
throws.
but not teach him his free throw
Shaq just-
technique.
Kobe would have appreciated
Shaq's
that.
just the best person really to kind of bring everyone together over the Kobe Bryant stuff because of their history and how they fought and they didn't see just like the perfect big brother little brother moment of just he had the success and then you're only good because of me and then he did it without him and
Yeah, it was a perfect cap off
It's just-
to the ceremony. Absolutely.
I'm really happy that there's peace to it now with everybody. Of course, it's always going to hurt because he was taken way too young.
You know what? I'm actually glad that we did this in this order. I'm glad that we ended the show
Yeah, you
with
wanted
the
to
Kobe
start the
tribute.
show with this.
I mean, because it was just so fresh and it was
Yeah,
just so.
of
But
course.
I'm
It's
glad
current.
we did it this
Yeah.
way because this mood, it needed to be like this. It
Yeah.
needed to be at the end of the show. We didn't need to start off the show like this.
Yeah.
And like once again, I just really enjoyed everything the coverage that was on ESPN and everything that we saw on social media, and it was just great. It was put
Right.
together the right way, and they did an amazing job.
Yeah, world class for the Staples Center, and I couldn't have imagined talking about this and then jumping into PJ Walker XFL talk.
Nah, no
Would have
chance.
been a weird vibe.
No chance. So that will conclude episode 7. Wayne, I appreciate you. Marcus Mack, I appreciate you. Anthony Nieves, Jordan Crate. Make sure you go check out jordancrate.com. EJ, I love you. Cameron, good job.
Let's go.
Do us a favor, please subscribe, like, comment on all podcast platforms. Also subscribe, hit the notification button so you get reminders of updates on new episodes, and we'll check you out episode 8. We really do appreciate it, guys.
Peace.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC show.